think it's safe to say we came here to take over the game. Yeah. Still. You know what's going on. Yeah. It's still politics as usual. Life looking beautiful. Talking real heavy. More heavy than the usual. Shook the whole world up. And type of motion new to you. So it's just a throwback. Losing, we don't know that. Only give them our facts. That's exactly what y'all lack. Always show the people love, so they show us love back. Yeah. And Ben Worthy like 42.
Woo! And once again, it's on. You are now rocking with the best. We are the Politics as Usual podcast, where we cover everything NBA related and, of course, some sneaker talk. It is so good to be with y'all, wherever you're watching us, near or far, wherever you are. That rhyme like Storm. We're glad to have you. I'm Rashad Timeout Grove, and I'm here with my man, Pots and Pans, 24 grand from Coatesville land. Young OG, Adam.
Young OG. What's up, Jack?
Man, you repping the home team quite well tonight. I like that. Is that Doc?
That is Doc. We got to go back to the
top
Jersey.
Five. That's a top five. That was in your list, right?
Yeah. We representing the Sixers today.
Oh yeah, man, because they barely beat the Wizards.
Oh, if they wouldn't have beat the Wizards, I would have. We would have had to go. We would have had to make a couple phone calls, man. We can't lose to the mustache
and the hair.
And the hair.
Mustache and the hair, man. Yo, crazy wild weekend in the association. But look. Cigars, soul music.
You went in the archives for that.
Legendary. I know it's a little snug. You ain't even got to say it in the comments. I already know. You ain't got to tell me. Don't text me. Don't thread me. Don't tweet me. I already know.
Shout out to Cigars and Soul Music. Ride, what up, boy?
Yes. Make sure y'all follow that as well. Yeah, man. What do we get? Man, we got a lot to get to, according to the executive producer who been fussing at me.
Listen, we said rapid fire, more fire. We got a lot to talk about, Jack. Let's jump right in, Jack.
Yes.
We're gonna start with the weekly recap, Jack.
Cap.
So we got to get serious for a second, real quick.
Yes.
We got to get serious, man. At the Sacramento game, man. Really crazy thing that happened at that game, man. Let me pull up my notes here. Wow, man. At the Sacramento game, a fan had to get CPR. The fan was a young man in his 30s, and he had to get CPR during the game, first half of the game. And unfortunately, that fan did not make it, man. The players didn't know anything about this. They were playing in the game when this happened. We tried for about 20 minutes, but they were unsuccessful reviving him, man. So we got to send our condolences to that man's family, man. Yes. That's a really wild thing, man. I've never heard of anything like that happening.
Prayers to that family, and man, such a tough situation. That was against the Pelicans.
That was against the Pelicans.
I watched the whole game, and I don't even remember. I didn't even know that happened to you. Shot it to me, and I watched the game, and they kept that, just off the cameras, not even a mention.
Yeah, they didn't mention it to after the game, and they didn't release the gentleman's name yet. So really unfortunate situation that happened out there, man. So like we said, man, condolences to that man's family, man. Really wild, man. Crazy event.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. So we gonna go on to something a little different. Switch gears.
Yes.
Got a little spicy over the weekend. Got a little spicy.
Pardon me, I missed that R.
So LeBron.
Yo.
Throwing some words around that you don't call another man a female dog. We know what word that is.
Don't use that word so loosely. Don't use it so loosely. And here's what I thought LeBron said. I thought he said, I really enjoyed Love Jones. and Udoka said, wait a minute.
I thought he said something about boys in the hood. I heard Love Jones, I heard boys in the hood.
Have you ever seen Fresh Prince,
Oh,
yo, and you don't.
There's a pretty little girl that played in all those movies and shows named Nia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her.
Yes, man. And I thought Like, I didn't see it live. I was catching it afterwards. I thought, and Udoka, I remember he got technical for calling one of the refs the P word.
Oh, so he likes to let those words fly.
So he's one of them, loose with the lips. And he said, it was funny afterwards. He said, I got into a confrontation or something with the player. He didn't even say his name. Oh, yeah.
That player is known as him. You got to address that man as him.
So that was something else, man. And you cannot have, I would have lost the bet if there was a confrontation. Of course, we say Dylan and LeBron.
Right.
Never thought.
Brooks was trying to break it up a little bit.
Ain't that crazy? And here's what's crazy what they did on social media. How they going to put all the clips together of LeBron scoring on Udoka.
Listen, LeBron has been killing Udoka for years.
I didn't even know.
So not only has he been killing him for years, the Lakers won the game. You got ejected. LeBron didn't. You lost Nia. I mean, you just lost all across the board. You lost the Celtics job. He lost.
Listen, man. That was I think he just wanted to get ejected. Sometimes the coaches just want to get out of there. That could have been one of them. But I was watching Skip and Shannon, and they were divided about it. And Stephen A, like some people were saying, thinking Udoka shouldn't have got kicked out. He already had a tech. I said, man, that's a lot, man, to be yelling that across the that's a lot going on.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those words, man.
A less professional player that's not worth $1 billion. Imagine if he'd have said that to that number 23 at Golden State chokehold.
We would have had something else to talk about. So listen, Jack, the Super Cup is live. We call it the Super Cup. It's not the NBA Cup.
I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready for that early. Let's see it at the Super Cup. Y'all call
the
it
Super Cup.
You call it
is
the Super Cup.
Live right now, Jack. So people that are talking about they don't really like it. We didn't understand it when it first started. Man, this thing has spiced up the early part of the season, man.
It's been fun to watch. Never watched as much basketball this early in years since I was a kid. And the games mean something.
Right.
The players are competitive. That game that we're gonna get to against Boston and Indiana, man, it was like a playoff game.
Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
The great Tyrese. He's the great now. The great Tyrese Haliburton, man.
We got a good Tyrese in Philly, but they got one in Indiana.
Man, did you watch that game, man? He was getting anywhere he wanted, man. He was the best player on the court that day.
That's a weird shot he got to, that little set shot. Look at he just throwing it up there. And I was watching just the crowd, the moment. It felt like a playoff game.
Yeah.
It's first time on live TV.
Very ugly basketball court. Very ugly basketball court. All the basketball courts are ugly, including the Pacers.
I want them done.
He can do away with that. But he looked incredible, man. He was better than Jason Tatum that night.
And that was the game for Jason Tatum and them to really cement we're the beasts of the East. Now that cast doubt, when the Sixers see that, we're like, I think we can get them in the playoffs.
Right.
The Bucks thinking that.
Right. And I think this Super Cup is doing exactly what they wanted it to do because it's giving these young teams confidence. Yes. And I think this is the start of something incredible for the Indiana Pacers. As crazy as that sounds, Reggie Miller isn't coming out that tunnel, and it's okay.
Shout out to Jalen Rose. I know he was going crazy on them Rick Smiths and them watching this. The divide, and they got a good team, man.
They do, man. But listen, what I'm getting ready to say next is crazy. Pelicans look good. The Pelicans, we didn't give them any credit in the beginning of the year, Jack. Pelicans look good.
First and second episode, we was like they're injured and but they.
Zion.
You better not say Steph Williamson.
Steph Lewis, I did that for you, brother. You don't run like Zion. I apologize. He grinded us up last week. Listen, I meant to tell you in the text. He said, Grove is like Ernie. He gets you started, and then he wants to take. He don't want to take no sides. He said he started it.
I didn't say nothing.
Listen, so shout out to Steph Lewis, but Zion looks like the player that we thought he could be, and man,
and
that
he's
team is rolling.
Playing. And that makes a difference when you play the games all the time. And Barkley and them are still getting on him about he probably still ain't, you see him jogging like how Steph did when he played football. He ain't getting back. He don't get back.
He's gonna kill us.
You don't get back. Zion ain't getting back on defense. I was like, no, he ain't going. But that Brandon Ingram and McCollum and Alvarado stealing the ball. I can't. He's one of the. I hate him.
Listen, he's one of those players that if he's on your team, you like him. But if you're not, you can't stand him.
Oh, he did that against the Sixers. I was going crazy in the house. But
he hides in the stands and he'll just come out of the rafters and take the ball.
And nobody be like, "Yo, there he goes." They just let him take the ball. But they have such I think one of the analysts said they're probably the deepest team. They can go 1 through 12. That boy Trey Murphy lost to the Sixers boy in the slam dunk. Herb Jones, they got a bunch of six. That's gonna be a good game against the Lakers.
Man, listen,
I'm impressed.
I couldn't believe they beat the Sacramento Kings, but
it was down like 14 points.
But listen, they're gonna have to run into they got a different California team coming, so they gotta relax.
Buddy.
They gotta relax.
I think you need to relax. Yo, LeBron and them.
They're gonna have their hands full with the Pelicans, though. As crazy as that sounds, they're gonna have their hands full.
Yeah, because they just got them young legs. But if Austin Reeves is gonna be playing like that, if Austin Reeves is gonna be the third one like that, Lakers can go up against anybody.
Yeah.
And now I watched LeBron last night when they was against the Suns, and they did everything they tried to do to give that game up.
Oh my God!
But I watched them in the third quarter just ease. But that fourth quarter came, that old man,
I know,
buddy.
Listen, I tell you who didn't try to give the game away. The Bucks washed.
Yo, everybody, a lot of people picked the Knicks.
Did they?
Like it's gonna be even.
Man, listen.
And I drank that Kool-Aid. Yo, they on a different level. And they finally looking like they got the chemistry going. And Middleton,
they're trying to figure it out.
Middleton and Dame together. Yo.
Middleton is a dangerous third option, man.
Quiet, don't mess with, listen, they're going to be something special.
And the thing about the Bucks is, Giannis is going to be Giannis, right?
Yep.
But once you get that chemistry together, and Dame Dollar, man, he's one of the coldest. He's top 75 for a reason, man.
For a reason.
A lot of people question him being a part of that top 75, but Dame is top 75 for a reason. And they get that thing together, man. Brook Lopez, man, he's 7-footer blocking shot, hitting threes. Man, they are going to be a tough out, man.
I think
they are going to be a tough out.
They probably gonna make a move to get a little, a wing guy. That's probably what they missing. Just an athlete. They don't got that one athletic guy that can stick everybody. They gonna make another move to try to get somebody like that. But they are, I was convinced against the Knicks. They put the smackdown on them.
Yeah.
Had Thibodeau, Thibodeau got that little thing right here. That thing was just flapping. Yo, just cut it, dog. You need to cut it, as they used to say.
Oh man! Speaking of cutting it,
we segueing tonight, dog.
we segueing tonight. You talk about his hair flapping. Shout out to our guy him James. Yo, he needs to cut his too. But when LeBron calls,
I thought of that last night.
You listen. When he calls a timeout, you listen. That was crazy at the end of the game.
I think the ref down at the other court said timeout. When LeBron says time, Adam Silver, everybody says it's their ball. That was the biggest flex of his career. I thought you had to be on the ball or close to the ball. He said, no, I'm LeBron. It's a timeout.
But the refs put out a press release and they showed some film. Reeves had a hand on the ball. It couldn't have happened that perfectly. but they froze the screen, and Reeves had a hand on the ball when timeout was being called. But if you think about that game, it was a lot of missed calls during that game. You got the kickball in the first half.
Yo, that was crazy.
Austin Reeves was getting fouled.
Yo, do you see Reddish keep smacking up? Reddish was smacking up Booker and just grabbing him by the neck. He did it like twice. So the refs did not have a good showing last night. But you know who else didn't have a good showing? Nurkic's trying to do that pick and roll against LeBron.
Oh my God!
They got to address that in Phoenix.
Incredible last night, man.
He looked like he looked so young last night, flying up and down the
best
court.
Player on the floor with KD across on the other side. He was the best player on the floor last night.
Yes, unquestionably.
And I'll tell you one thing. I do not like Booker at that point guard position for the Suns.
I've been saying this since that started. That's not his. He needs to be off the ball scoring.
Yeah, I don't like
when you play against the Lakers, they put Reddish on him, pressing him, getting him. By the time he gets it up, they got 8 seconds and they do a bailout shot. And
it's like you said. Yeah. It's like you said about AD being a tall man. Booker can dribble, but he's not a point guard. Like, it's different being able to, have some yo-yo in and out. Yeah, it's different when you have the ball in your hand at all times, man.
Yes, the grind
becomes a different thing.
Somebody raised the question and said, "Do they miss Chris Paul?"
I would think so. Man. Like they need a point guard.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think because the point guard, like, he doesn't make the game. They don't get easy shots.
No, like, they don't.
You see them passes LeBron hit Prince with, easy shot, bounce back. They don't have those kind of plays. They shoot contested shots. Now they gonna make some. KD gonna make the ones right in your face, but you can't bank on them throughout the whole game.
Right, and Booker, it just doesn't look natural for Booker. And then you're going to bring back Bradley Beal, who's going to be putting up shots too. Bradley Beal or Booker, neither of them are a true point guard. They probably haven't played point guard since they were, you figure, probably in middle school or something like that, because they've been tall. So you figure they've been the tallest people on the court most of their careers. So it's not natural for either.
I don't see it, but that was a wild game, and the Lakers advanced.
Yeah, man, but definitely fun to watch. I'm not mad. We kind of predicted that the Lakers could beat the Suns, so good to see that some of our predictions are coming.
3-0.
We had the Lakers.
I had the Celtics going. I was on the Celtics juice. I thought they was in there, man.
And I thought Sacramento was going to win, man. I didn't have the Pelicans winning.
No, not against Fox. And I love Malik Monk. He's a player.
Yeah. They got a good team. But the Super Cup, it's been interesting, man.
I love it.
It's been a nice change to the beginning of the season. Like you said, I've never watched so much basketball early on in this season.
Yes, sir.
So that's been cool. I tell you who hasn't been playing basketball.
Segway. He's a Segway king.
The Detroit Pistons.
You hasn't been playing basketball. I was like, what's the next one? I'll tell you who hasn't been playing basketball.
Yo, Detroit Pistons can't buy a win. Shout out to my guy, BJ. He texted me last week and said, listen, next week on the show, you got to talk about the Detroit Pistons. He said, man, they ain't won a game in November. They didn't win a game since October 28th.
Yo, you know what I would do if I'm the coach when they come into the locker room? Have White Clef in there. Gone to November.
Someone called 911.
He's going to November. How could I not remember? Yo, how you gonna lose a game the whole month?
And listen,
when you said
at this moment, they have not won a game yet.
15, 16, 17, and the Spurs narrowly escaped it because they won one earlier or two earlier in the month. They've been losing too, but the Pistons, man, Monty Williams is the highest paid coach.
And it's one of those things, man. We talk about all the time. They give they give the coaches these horrible teams, man. And you figure he had the Phoenix Suns, man. He's the one that started that thing out in Phoenix.
That's right.
It's Jackson effect, right? Like he
That's
got
right.
that Phoenix team
That's right.
balling, and then you get rid of him. Not his fault. You get rid of him, and now he's in Detroit, and they're what? 2-19.
2000. They lost 2,000 games in November.
2-19. They got the worst record in the East, man.
Yo,
they got the worst. They got the worst record in the NBA. So
this was funny.
They can't buy a win.
They're not even trying to tank. It seemed like it was crazy. They're trying to win.
But yeah, they're not tanking.
Yo,
they're actually out there trying to win.
So we know about throwing seasons away in Philly. We threw a lot of them away. 16, 15, 14.
They're not out there trusting no process. They're out there trying.
They're just out there losing. All those fans, man. I can't say I know a Detroit Pistons fan personally, but man, that's they're having a rough go at it.
Man, can you imagine?
Thomas rolling over in his grave, man.
Can you Rip Hamilton's not coming out of that?
Rip Hamilton, I forgot. Coach feels old, yo. He need to give them a halftime speech. He need to bring. He need to go in there and bring John Hamilton, Ed Hamilton, Christy Hamilton, get them all in there.
Big Rip, everybody.
Everybody need to go in there and straighten this mess out. It's a mess over there.
It is a mess over there, man. Listen, man. Can you imagine, though, you go a whole month. Imagine that being your local team, and that's who you get to watch every night. I get the Sixers, you get the Nets at least.
Yeah. Yes. You get season tickets to watch that. Maybe
you couldn't give those tickets
away. It's like it's a close game. They always down 50.
Listen, those floor seats must be going for $9.99. He said, Nathaniel, get in that ashtray and give me them $2.
Big Meat, figure it out.
Oh my God, man.
God, man.
The whole month of November. But
unbelievable.
Listen, but let's talk about who's been balling, man.
Yes.
Don't sleep on them Orlando Magic, Jack.
I think this is a new segment. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep on the Orlando Magic, Jack.
Quietly, I think they had like a 9-game winning streak. I watched them beat so many good teams.
Yeah,
the coach looked like he's 25. Paulo Banchero, Cole, Greg Anthony's son, down there. They got that boy from Gonzaga. I gotta look him up. They just got a solid team that they built through the draft, and all of a sudden, turn up. We said they're third in the East.
Third in the East at 14-7, Jack. Listen, and you figure Boston has the best record in the East at 15-5, and they're 14-7, so they're only a game and a half behind right now.
That's crazy.
They're ahead of the Sixers, man. And we talk about Embiid as being, an MVP candidate again, and Orlando Magic have the third best record in the East, man. They got it exciting again down there, like when Shaq and Young Penny was there, man.
Been a long
3D.
Time.
Yeah. It's been a really long time since they've been good.
Don't sleep on those Magic. They don't like Indiana. You're not going to see them on the large, the game of the week. Saying they're not going to be on ESPN, TNT. You got to catch them if you got League Pass or the local team. But, they're building something special down there. And keep your eyes on Orlando. Don't sleep on them. They got something special.
It's fun to see these types of teams. Get their chance. And, especially the teams that have gone through the draft and teams that are just, making good trades and things like that. Players that you don't think that are going to be good. The Indianas of the world, the Orlandos of the world, the Houston Rockets are a better team. But that Orlando Magic, man, like who would have thought at the beginning of the season, man, that the Orlando Magic would have been third in the East? Like, I mean,
never.
If you look at that Eastern Conference, and you say you would to think that as good as Indiana's playing, that Orlando has a better record than them.
Crazy.
Cleveland, Atlanta. I mean, Orlando has a better. They're only behind Milwaukee and Boston, who are contenders.
So if the playoffs ended today, the Magic would play the Pacers. Something. If you'd have told me at the beginning of the year, that's something I would have thought I didn't want to see.
Right.
After watching the Super Cup playoffs and watching them back, I'm just so tuned in. Now I feel like I got a great handle on the league, and that will be a great series. Young teams, man. Yo, only thing will put them over the top, but they put them in that pinstripe throwback black belt. They got to put those on.
Man, listen, man. They are going to be exciting to watch. It's going to be interesting to see if they can continue it through the rest of the season. You know, we're still pretty early on in the season, but it'll be interesting to see if they can continue this, man, because right now, like you said, 9-game winning streaks, and man, they are beating some good teams, man. They are good, man.
They are like the East Coast Thunder.
I can give you that.
Team, you know, Thunder got more name power, star power with SGA and Chet, but man, they are both of them building through the draft, getting young players, developing them, and really building something down in Orlando. So don't sleep on Orlando Magic.
Yeah, man, it's going to be fun to watch them come playoff time, man. If they can get in the playoffs, they have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah, we'll see if I mean, you figure third in the East. I mean, my man got to get in. He got to get into the All-Star game. You figure
Carroll got to put him in there.
He has to.
Jalen Suggs, they got a lot of, and everybody seems like they're 21, 22.
Yeah.
Such a young team, man.
You figure that coach, man, you figure out the leap that they made, he could be up for Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm. You're right, man.
So we'll keep paying attention to them, man. So let's switch gears a little bit, Jack. So we were talking about the Detroit Pistons and them being last in the league. So we got some other pretty bad teams, Jack. So which lottery team will win a chip first, you think?
That is a question right there. Lottery team.
I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs. They got the worst record in the West at what are they? They're 3 and what are they? They're 3-16. They got the worst record in the West. So I'm gonna go with them. You know, we've seen this movie before with you know, them getting the number 1 pick and getting a big guy that, you know, ends up becoming a Hall of Famer.
They're gonna be 3 for 3 with those, man. They 3 for 3.
And Wemby looks like he's on target. And, you know, they got some of them young pieces down there. And as long as Pop's there, Pop is one of my favorite coaches, man. I think he's top 3 all time, depending on the order, whoever you ask. But, man, I think San Antonio is going to make that leap first because I think people are going to end up wanting to come play with Wemby.
And just make sure when you at the Spurs game, don't be booing Kawhi.
Listen, Pop had enough of that.
Yo, you know, that was a power play. You know what I thought? I said, he's going to try to get him back down there. Because, you know, Kawhi's a free agent. He's a free agent. He looking at Wemby. He looking at Wemby and Kawhi.
And let me ask you a question. If you're Kawhi, why wouldn't you?
Run out of there.
I'm getting out of LA as fast as possible.
Oh my God, I'm already home. You know, as soon as and if Kawhi signs with them, you know what he should say? In the streets say Kawhi can't come back home.
You know when he heard that?
That was best.
When he was back home.
yo, that would be crazy if you wind up there. But I don't know what's going top.
Shout out to Jay-Z. You got your first quote in there.
Got to.
Got your first quote in there.
Shout out to the Book of Hove. Yeah.
Incredible.
So yeah, so I think you got it. It's the Spurs.
I mean, you got some other teams that are at the bottom that
I'm looking at maybe the way the season is going. If the Grizzlies wind up in the lottery because the Jaws missing, he probably got about 5-6 games. I know they in Memphis like this. Bring them back, Lord.
They
suck. Oh man.
And even with Ja out, they still got a better record than Detroit. Right?
Detroit got everybody there.
And listen, I tell you who's not going to be on my list.
Who's that?
Of lottery teams that will one day win a championship.
Who is that?
The mustache and the hair and the Washington Wizards are not on my list. I saw a report that said they're the worst duo in the NBA. Man, Jordan Poole better be careful, man. He gonna be out the NBA, man.
No,
That's crazy, right?
He is unserious and out of control.
The mustache.
Yo.
The mustache alone shows he's not serious.
Yo, you know, those two, who's the coach? I gotta look up the coach. Put him on. He need to be on everybody's prayer list dealing with that guy. Oh,
put him on the sick and shut-in list.
Yo. That squad is sick and shut-in.
Sick and shut-in.
Oh, no, it's Wes Unseld Jr. Man, you remember we talked about it early in the first episode. He was in the huddle talking about, this is my team.
Yeah, like not listening, man. So they are not on my list, man.
Yeah, not that I condone any violence, but now when you see him and Draymond, when Draymond punched him, he was like, oh, I can see how he can push somebody over the edge. And remember, Steph got mad at him and threw the joint. Like,
listen, you know how long Draymond was waiting to punch him in his face?
And we know from that punch and that choke, he got patience.
Listen,
he'll wait for the moment to get you.
Draymond pulled that punch out from E40's house. I mean, he cut that thing back.
I thought he was gone out of here.
He tried to break his jaw, man.
That duo, that's gonna be an all-time. That's the all-time blooper duo. The greatest blooper.
That should just be the Shaq and the Fool. Just be the cover of Shaq and the Fool, man. They are so unserious, man.
They're down bad now, and plus that organization, that's just that thing. Nah, you can trust Pop that they're building something, even though they're losing. They're building something. They know how to build.
Yeah, and you figure they're exciting to watch, man, the San Antonio Spurs. I'm looking at the rest of these teams on the list outside of Memphis, who's at the bottom due to Ja being out. I would say San Antonio or realistically Memphis are the greatest chances, but San Antonio for sure is the lottery team that has a chance. You wait till next year, man. They're going to be a playoff team next year, I think.
Oh yeah, because unlike those other teams, like I don't think the Pistons can draw they can't draw a decent free agent. Pop can bring somebody in there.
Right. And you saw with their ticket sales, I think they spiked by like 25% from like last year to this year. So you could already feel it in the air, man. It won't be long before the San Antonio Spurs get right back there. But the only thing is though, Jack, Pop's getting old, man. Pop's getting old, but Pop does a good thing at grooming those assistants, man.
He got them everywhere.
You figure all those assistants that came from under him.
And here's all those assistants he got, and we got the worst one when he gets Brett Brown. Why we wind up with Brett? No shade to Brett. You got us through some tough years.
He got us through some tough years. I wonder where
he's got a stab. You look at his coaching tree; it's insane, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so some really good coaches up under him. Mm-hmm. All right, Jack.
Uh-oh.
You know what time it is.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous.
That's a fact, Jack. Stat of the week.
I'm nervous about this one, I'm told.
Listen, we gonna be good with it. You and I are gonna be good with it. So they like to give my man Bron a lot of him. They like to give him a lot of. He gets a lot, you know. Josh Krantz, you got to do better.
My God,
Josh, you got to stop, man.
You got to relax.
I love Josh Krantz. Great.
You got to relax. He got like 3 or more posts. I'm gonna drive to Coatesville. Got 2 or 3 more.
Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Josh. But last week we talked about LeBron, suffering his worst loss, 44 points. That was
against?
That was against the Philadelphia 76ers, Jack.
That was us. Yeah, that was for you.
That was against us.
Yeah,
so I got to thinking, we consider Jordan, Kobe. We consider this is the Mount Rushmore. I guess you could, depending on what era you grew up, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, and maybe Magic or Kareem, depending on your era.
That's probably 5 right there.
A little bit of digging and see what's these guys' worst loss. And some people might be surprised.
He did some research.
I should shout out to my OGs, Sonny Myers, he said my GOAT would never lose by 44 points. And I said, you lie.
Shout out, Sonny.
You lie.
He done sparked something. He done sparked something.
But listen how crazy this is, Jack. I didn't believe it when I saw this. So apparently, Jordan's biggest loss of his career occurred when he was 38 years old and 33 days old, right? So he was 38 years old and 33 days old, right? LeBron, 38 years old and 33 days old. Sorcery. When they both lost by 44 points, the worst loss of their careers.
That is sorcery.
Dog, that's crazy. They talk about the script writers. Yo. That is bananas. So the Wizards lost to the Nets 111-67. My God.
67?
God.
Who's on the Wizards at that time? That must be Jason Kidd and them. Vince Carter. Man. They did Jordan like that?
Man, listen. Jordan had 10 points.
You know how many cigars he smoked after that game?
Shout out to Cigars and Soul Music. He smoked a Cuban that night. He might have smoked a Cuban before the game.
Yo, and he went right to the crap table. The New Jersey went right to Atlantic City after.
They definitely were in New Jersey too.
Right to Atlantic City.
So that was on January 16th in 2002.
Man.
So, but listen, let's shout out to Kobe, R.I.P. to Kobe, but let's see how much he lost by. So his worst loss came to the Utah Jazz. March 28th, 2016.
2016? This is last year?
Towards the end, yeah. He lost by 48.
Who was playing?
48.
Who was playing on the Jazz in 2016?
So you figure that's Hayward and
Rudy? Young Rudy? Probably
I think Rudy? Is Rudy there yet? I don't know if Rudy's there yet, but that's that Hayward team. That's the team that he ended up putting 60 on. He got his hit back. He got his hit back because he ended up putting 60 on them on the last game, but they lost 123-75. March 28th to 2016. So that's a fact Jack stat of the week. So y'all gonna cut it out, talk about LeBron losing by 44. There's never been a player this good for this long. You see what he's doing? You see what he's doing out there, Jack. So that's a wild stat there, buddy. I thought that was crazy when I saw that. I didn't believe that was true about Jordan and LeBron. That's wild, man.
On the same age,
like same days. Like that's wild, man. That is crazy, man. They talk about the script writers, man. That was a blooper there, man. Like, dang, you gotta can't make it so obvious. Can't make it so obvious.
Ooh, that's wild, man.
Listen, brother,
right there, buddy.
Listen, brother. We did it again, Jack.
Look, we under time, even though the executive producer was hating on all the segments.
Well, listen, we said rapid fire, more fire.
Shout out to the executive producer handling this wildness. A lot going on, man.
And listen, and shout out to us again because this is another late night for us. So listen, y'all don't see the work that we putting in, the dedication that we putting into this.
Y'all watch it when it come out on Thursdays or whenever y'all got time. We shoot these at 3:00 in the morning.
I gotta take this jersey off and put my work clothes on.
Right back on. You're right. I only got one shout out this week. The good people at the Brooklyn Library who put on the Book of Hove, getting us in and out. I thought it was going to be a long wait. I snuck up there Monday afternoon, and, man, it was fantastic, man. I could have stayed up there all day.
Man, I went last Saturday. It is an incredible experience, man. It was incredible to see all that, man. So politics as usual. If you guys have not made the connection, don't see the picture in the background, we're huge Jay-Z fans. So it was a really big deal for us to go to the Brooklyn Library and see that exhibit, man. So I got a couple shout outs this week, man. Listen, for the last 2 weeks, we've been killing Steph Lewis. So, man, I got to shout out my guy, Chop, man. Steph Lewis.
Hey, Steph is all him. I'm just laughing.
Listen, don't come home and grab me. I don't want no trouble.
Come on,
so shout out to Steph, man. My little cousin Princeton Boo Brown, man. He tunes in every week. He's commenting on YouTube. He's supporting, man. So shout out to my little cousin Boo. That's like my little twin. He looks just like me when I was his age. Boy, if I could turn back the hands of time for all this gray hair. Shout out to B-Dub for giving us that nugget of the Detroit Pistons not winning the game since since the war.
Since last Thanksgiving. Jeez.
Last Thanksgiving. and we got to shout out Larry Brown, man. Larry Brown. Hold on. You
a legend for that one, Larry.
Listen, he tagged us in the post. They were talking about talk about my man PJ Tucker. It said 11 million American dollars per year to get fresh before NBA games, just to foul people.
No points, no rebounds, no nothing.
He'd be fresh as I don't know what during the game.
The greatest sneaker collection in the world.
Sneaker king, just out there fouling people.
Yo, zeros, bunch of zeros. Yo, I was crying when I saw that. Shout out to you, Larry.
Man. So shout out to the guys, man.
You know what? Guys. I do got a shout out. We got to shout out one of Reese's boys breaking that record. Didn't he? What Jig? Jig scored?
Shout out to Jig. Yeah, he put up the 41 against Temple. So that's a big five, I believe.
Big five, yes.
Big five conference, man. So shout out to Jigga Man. Putting up that 41. We were filming last week when that happened. I wanted to go to that game, man. So shout out to Jigga Man. Jameer
I'm gonna make sure the next one, let's make sure we there. I gotta be there. Put my eyes on him. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen, that is all for us. Follow us on social media, Politics as Usual Talk. I'm at the Groveness. Rashad Grove, you see it right there. Thank you, Brandi. And we have Mr. Adam Carter. His information is right there. Follow us on Threads. We're also on MySpace. Put us in your favorite five on MySpace.
Apple Music. Wherever
you need us to be, we'll be there. Yo, it's another one. We thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you next time. And remember this, it was all good just a week ago. 40 minutes.
Came here to take over the game. Yeah.